Hello, everybody, and welcome to the New Biles podcast. Today we have
Tiny Ray,
Cody Steele,
and we're just going to get right into it. What's your guys' body count? Should I be more specific, before or after?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Before I think I was around like 50 to 60, maybe.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. Proud of that number.
Yeah, that's a good number.
I had some time under my belt before, so conservative estimate, maybe 180-ish, somewhere around there.
Conservative estimate.
Just short of 200, I would say, probably.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. I love that. I would love to hear your favorite hookup story from each of your body count times that were born.
I'll let you go first unless you don't have.
Yeah. All right, this one I used to be embarrassed about, but I'm actually really proud of this one at this point. Yeah, I could reminisce a little bit on it.
Right.
I had this like friends with benefits for a while, and he's like, "Hey, you should come over and hook up with me." And I was like, "All right, I'll come over." And then he's like, "But hey, I have a friend here, so bring a friend." And I like happened to have a friend there, right? And so I'm like, "Hey, you want to go like hook up with my dude's guy?" And she's like, "Sure, let's go." So we go all the way over there. She meets up with the other guy who's way hotter than my buddy, by the way. And so I'm hooking up with my buddy. And then we finish, and he's like, "So, hey, like, my friend's not really into your friend. Can he just, like, come in here and you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess."
So that leads to my next question.
Right.
What did your friend do during this
she
time?
was fucking pissed. She was so pissed.
Yeah.
And I
bet.
felt really bad about it for a really long time. But then I was just like, why? You know?
Yeah, and I guess at the end of the day, it's just business had to be done, and yeah.
So you didn't get double teamed?
Not the same time. It was just like back to back.
Got you. Those dudes fucked up.
Yeah, I agree. I
Fumbled
know,
the bag right there, right? Yeah.
Looking at my kink now too, they would have won if they both hit it at the same time.
Yeah.
Also makes me think too that maybe guys are nervous to have two guys at the same time, like they think that it might be like gay or things like that back then, and now I feel like now it's not like that.
I don't know.
At least
man.
where I grew up, that
Yeah.
would not be something that people would do. Like you would never have two
maybe.
guys, because it was always like, well, we want another girl, and it's like, no, I want another guy. So
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And so when I got into porn, that's when I realized, like, oh, people really like doing boy girls. But yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
my favorite.
But you did a lot of
honestly.
boy girls before porn.
No, I would say most of my friends weren't confident enough on the same level to have done that. But at the same time, there was never a situation where if a girl was like, "Hey, both of you," that one guy would have been like, "No."
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, "No, pussy. All right, down. Let's go."
I just
Yeah.
take turns like a set
Yeah.
at the gym.
Yeah, right. I'll spot you, bro.
High five.
All right. Your turn.
Was he favorite or craziest? I don't know. I guess
Just one that pops in your mind. Just
the
yeah.
first one that popped in my mind. I was out in college town, and just typical night going out to the bars and stuff like that. At the end of the night, my buddy, we were hitting on these girls, and one of the girls was a little tipsy, took his phone and got into an Uber, and like just took off. Like she was drunk. And so we met up with her friends who were like, cause we're chasing after her because she has his phone.
Mm-hmm.
Her friends were chasing after her because now their friend is drunk and going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, okay, we got in a car and basically followed their Uber or taxi or whatever the hell it was. And we ended up going back to, oddly enough, she was going back to meet her dude who lived at the same apartment complex that we lived at. Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Yeah.
So we showed up there with a bunch of these like random girls and then the two of us. And we get there and this place had a pool that was open 24 hours a day. So this thing on the weekends was just a party till sunrise. Mm-hmm. And so we end up talking up these girls all night. That girl ended up drunk jumping into the shallow end of the pool and just like bashed her head up, like not bad enough where it's like, but just scraped it like that too, you know what I mean? And then just ended up passing out on like a deck chair or whatever. Ended up talking up the girls all night long, brought them back to our place. And so it was a friend of mine from the gym that I had over there, and he was like kind of just his game was not there, and he honestly was just too timid to pull the trigger. So he ended up just like leaving. So I took the one girl in my bedroom. One of the girls was passed out on the couch, the girl who had the head thing. And then one of her other friends was drunk and like twisted her ankle horribly, and so she was sleeping on the couch. So my roommate gets home that next morning and he like walks in, hears me fucking a girl in my room, and then as he's walking through there, he sees one girl on the couch like leg propped up with ice on her ankle, and the other girl's passed out on the floor with a trash can and just scrapes all over her head. And he was like, what the fuck happened, dude? I was like, man, like she took his phone and then I don't remember, and then we all ended up back at the pool, and then now it's sunrise, and yeah, and then we literally that morning we had to walk around the apartment complex and find one of their other friends who was like timid little virgin girl, ended up going home with a guy for the first time that night, but she was somewhere in the apartment place, but we also had her phone. So so we're like walking around the morning with one girl hobbling another girl with like bandages on her forehead, looking for some random girl that we don't even know. Long night.
That is that is quite a story.
No.
Especially for a roommate to walk in and see that and not be
that was
part
kind of
it.
the whole thing where I was like, you just walk in and there's like one girl on the floor, like just face bashed up, another girl on the couch, like with her leg
it's like
pent up with ice.
situation.
It's just like, what the fuck happened?
Are they okay?
Cody, I have a question for you. I like this question here. Nothing scary, don't worry. Guys don't get as much promotion as the girls. What's something you wish more people knew about the guys? And
that wish they knew about?
yeah.
I'm fine with less promotion, honestly. Like, don't promote me at all. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Just like, don't even tag me. Actually.
No, I'm not one of those people who cares, like, who does a lot of the social media stuff. You know what I mean? So I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess the thing I wish people more, I guess that they knew more about male talent, I guess, is that we're not just heartless animals. I guess there's a lot of people who give you the way they comment about things or the way that they act. I guess the way that they assume you act towards women mimics how they act towards women, but not actually how that goes down in reality. And so I feel like there's a lot of times where some confusion between things, or like misnomers according to a lot of the general public, could be alleviated if they just understood that we're also like people as well too, you know. Not all of us, feelings. You know, some of us are a little edgy, but for the most part, you're gonna get someone who's professional, who's right there, and it's, you know, it's work. It can be a very fun job, a very interesting job, but at the same time, there's a lot of confusion with that sometimes.
Yeah, I always say that male talents have probably the hardest job, because there's just, I don't know, and then also it's all relying on you. If you don't make it happen, then what do we do?
Especially when they join, I'm like, you know, get good with off in front of your friends, and they're like, well, you know, you don't know anything. I'm like, no. The thing is that I've always said it's like a male talent are almost more pair of crew than they are anything else.
Yes.
Because I'm like, you know, you need your sound, your lighting, your camera. You need a dick to do their job, and that's like part of it. And then the girls can kind of be rotated in and out based on what the company needs, and they always need someone new and someone fresh face and something different that the guys will want to see. But when it comes down to it, then you look at the amount of different guys that are in all those scenes, and there's very few. So for it being a job that everybody thinks they can do, or all these guys say that they want to do, look how many of them are actually successful at it.
Of course.
Yeah. Like less than 0.5% of the, you know.
Total guys who go, I want to do porn.
Well, and another factor too is content guys versus mainstream guys. That's a huge factor. You know, a lot of guys think, oh, okay, I can do content. Well, let me take this next step. And
Vanna shot with a guy the other day, very popular guy out there too, and he was just saying, because like sometimes we'll film each other's scenes just because it gives us, you know, something, you know, we have a little bit more of a camera angle. It's not just so static. And he was honestly just like, even aside from that, he was like, it's just odd. Like, I've been doing this for long enough and have this reputation, but it's just harder to think about even being in the room with like another guy, let alone camera or anything else like that too. It's usually just you solo. And, you know, there's that side to it which sells really well, but there's a different world when you're just walking cold into an area where you don't know anybody and possibly don't even know the girl, and they're just like, this is what we want from you, do it, you know. I
actually got dragged on the socials once because there was like a creator who like went on this podcast, and he was like, honestly, you know, the mainstream guys are the heroes. He's like, I literally won't do mainstream because I want to pick who I work with. And that was like his whole thing. And I was like, good for you. Like, no one cares. Do you love that? And you're right, because it is difficult. Like, and then there's like the responsibility of making sure it stays hard, and then you can like basically on command. Like at the end of like, oh, we got the film, you can pop whenever, and the guy's like, all right, done. Like, if you can't do that, then you should stick to content creation or like your solo whatever.
Yeah.
But like, that's kind of like the whole point that makes them superheroes, is like you just show up and whatever girl's there, you do your job and you go.
Did you say that someone attacked you online when you said something?
There were a bunch of girls that dragged me on Twitter because like they didn't take what I said right, where I was literally like, mainstream guys are totally heroes for just showing up, doing great, going home, whatever. And then the girls are like, no, like, our job is way harder.
They didn't like the male talent love.
And like it's just like a bunch of man haters just got on my ass, and I'm like, you guys don't have to agree with me. I don't care at all, actually. But yeah, I got dragged on Twitter.
Well, that also leads me into some more questions.